Hi, recently I came an interesting question from my teammates. They are asking whether we need to implement copy constructor, assignment operator and destructor for all our classes. If you have also the same question, you are not alone. In this video, you will learn a simple rule and you yourself decide whether you really need a copy constructor, assignment operator, destructor for your class or not. So let's start the discussion. Hi, I am Smitesh and welcome to the channel. Let's consider this class. The class name is sample and it has a pointer member variable. It also has a default constructor and parameterized constructor and destructor. In the main, we are creating object n1 and assigning value. Now in the second line, we are copying n1 to n2. That means indirectly here copy constructor will call. Okay, now if you see closely, we do not have a copy constructor. Now we have a two scenario. Should we write or should we not write? So let's discuss first scenario. What if we do not write our own copy constructor? What will happen? So question answer is, if we do not write our own copy constructor, compiler will provide its own version of copy constructor. Okay, so here compiler will generate its own copy constructor and call. So when compiler generate its own copy constructor, it perform member-wise copy. That means it will copy bit by bit of all these member variable to n2. Now this is a pointer variable. So consider this n1 has a m underscore ptr name. It pointing to the 10,000 location. This is just random location, and in the at 10,000 location we have a zone. Now as compiler provide its own copy constructor, it will also, and it compiler did bitwise copy for all this member to n2. So n2 also has the m underscore ptr which is pointing to the same 10,000 location. Now what happened if you see here in the main, n1 is goes out of scope, it will call the destructor, correct? Now destructor is, here we are deleting this memory location, we are freeing this memory location, right? So consider here n1 is goes out of scope and it calls this destructor. Destructor is calling delete m underscore ptr and it free the location, free this memory location. Now again n2 is also going for out of scope, and the same thing happen. It will call the destructor and it try to delete this m underscore ptr. It try to free the memory which is allocated at m underscore ptr, but this memory is already removed, right? Free. So what will happen? Now if you see, this n1 of m underscore ptr name is already free and n2 is also trying to free this memory. That means here double delete is happening. Now here the program can be undefined, it can be crash, we don't know, right? So this whole thing is called the shallow copy. So when we do not provide a copy constructor, at that time compiler use its own version of copy constructor and indirectly it performs shallow copy. Okay, now the simple rule whether we need to write our own copy constructor or not. So the rule is here, if our class explicitly manages resources like memory, socket, file, etc., then we must write copy constructor, assignment operator and destructor. So here if you see our class sample, it explicitly managing memory. Here we are creating memory new and in the destructor we are removing memory. But we did not write copy constructor, assignment operator. Destructor we wrote, but these two things we did not write. So we have to write it. Otherwise it will create shallow copy and do this delete, double delete kind of things. So to avoid that, we have to write copy constructor, assignment operator, and destructor. Why? Again, because we are explicitly managing resources. Resources can be anything, either it's memory, either it's socket. Consider we use here socket, we use here file, so we have to write for that. Now, in this version, this is an updated one where we wrote copy constructor and assignment operator. So here we have three things: destructor, copy constructor, and assignment operator. All these three things is called the rule of three. So before C++11, we usually write copy constructor, assignment operator, and destructor if our class manages resources explicitly. But after C++11, because C++11 introduced move semantic, we have to write two more methods, which is called move constructor, move assignment operator, and that is called the rule of 5. That means, again, if our class is managing resources like memory management, then file handling, socket, then we have to write copy constructor, assignment operator, destructor, move constructor, and move assignment operator. This is called a rule of 5. Now in this slide, all the 5 things are implemented. Here it is destructor, here we have a copy constructor, here we have a assignment operator, here we have a move constructor, and here we have a move assignment operator. Now the question is, where at which scenario we do not need to write copy constructor or any of these three methods. Consider this sample class. Now it contains std string and it has a simple member variable m_name. Here we do not have a same copy constructor, assignment operator, delete, destructor, and move assignment or move copy. So do we really need to write for this? So the answer is no, because if you see closely, we are not explicitly managing the resources. Now here std string, it itself is strong that it manages resources itself. So here we are not allocating or deallocating memory for m_name. That is done by this string. And because of that reason, we do not need to write any of those 5 methods: copy constructor, assignment operator, destructor, move constructor, and move copy, move constructor, move assignment operator. So the answer is here no. Now this is called the rule 0 because we did not write anything. The rule 0 is telling if a class do not explicitly manage its resources like memory, socket, file, or all of the members variable are RAII type. That means, consider I have a class, I have one more member that contain smart pointers. Instead of row pointer, if I use smart pointer, all the smart pointers are based on RAII type. Resource acquisition is initialization. The full form of RAII is. If we have all the member based on this RAII type, we do not need to write any of these 5 methods. This is a simple rule and this is called the rule of 0. So what is RAII meaning? Consider I have this sample class and I want to use RAII. That means, consider I have a pointer like this, here character pointer. So instead of using raw pointer, if I use smart pointer, then our class is based on RAII class, but all the members must belong to RAII type. Then only we do not need to write copy constructor. Any of these 5 methods: copy constructor, assignment operator, destructor, move constructor, and move assignment operator. So this is a simple rule. So here the rule is 1. If our class is managing resources explicitly, we have to write all these 5 methods. If we are not managing explicitly any of the resources, we do not need to write all those 5 methods. This is a simple rule. I hope you understand. I hope you like the video. Thank you.